So guys, I did a video last night and I talked about setting up my first masternode for Ether 1. So I still don't have any coins yet. I need to wait for it to come to 100%. But there was a comment posted by, it's a bizarre username, but Duluwuhu or something like that. But he said that he has been burned. He's lost all his money with every single masternode he's set up. And then he says, good luck, buddy. Now I said, were those coins pre-sale masternode coins? And he's not replied yet, but my guess is that it is. Now, I've talked about pre-selling masternodes and why I don't like pre-sold masternode coins, but I want to just kind of clarify why I think that generally speaking, and I'm saying generally because I need to use the air quotes, because there's always exceptions to the rule and there's always good projects that just happen to have picked the wrong way to fund a project. But I would say generally speaking why pre-sale masternode coins are a bad investment. I think, if we forget about, some of the other reasons that I don't like pre-sale masternode coins, for example, I don't like the fact that anonymous teams can have tens of thousands of dollars before they've done any work. All they need is a website. They don't even need a white paper. Most of these don't have a white paper. They don't have a roadmap. And they just, they say we're going to pre-sale masternode coins, 10,000 coins for 0.2 Bitcoin or whatever. Now, the problem is that you're giving a huge amount of money to teams that haven't actually did anything yet. And I've always been in the belief that you should have an extensive proof of work period of a few months, at least a few months before masternodes are introduced. That's the way that I view it. I want to see a few months of the team working hard on a project. But that aside, and just forgetting about the risks involved with sending so much money to a team that hasn't even proved itself yet, a team that's most of the time isn't transparent. I think the biggest problem why it's a big investment is, well, it kind of makes sense, but everyone wants to break even. Everyone wants to get a return on their investment. If you look at cryptocurrency as a whole, if you look at investments as a whole, everyone wants to recoup their investment. And you look at GPU miners, you look at ASIC miners, any type of miner, the price of cryptocurrencies is heavily influenced by how much it costs to mine that coin. Now, of course, there's other things that go into that, as far as the difficulty, the hash rate, all these other things. But if it's cheap to mine a coin, people will sell it for less money. If it takes you a week to mine 0.1 of a coin, you're not going to sell it cheap. The price of the coin is going to be higher. So generally speaking, yes, everyone wants to recoup their costs. I've noticed in the cryptocurrency mining world, there's always, what I tend to do is look at what to mine and I get a general idea of what the top coins can give me right now. And then that will allow me to see whether I, should mine the top coin and then buy other coins or whether I should mine something else. But I know that when I buy a coin, that, when I mine a coin, I'm not going to sell it below a certain price point, a certain value. Because I know if I do that, I'm losing money. And you do see miners selling for less money, because, they think the coin is going down, they think the project's been abandoned or whatever. But generally speaking, the price of a coin is determined by the hash rate and the difficulty and how, if you get 1,000 coins per day and you're used to making $20 per day, well, you're not going to sell, it's not like you're going to get $1,000 for those coins. You're going to sell them for effectively $20. And the same thing goes for masternode coins. Think about this. If you've got a large group of people who have spent thousands of dollars, perhaps even tens of thousands of dollars collectively, and these guys have bought pre-sold masternodes, they've bought some of the coins in the pre-mine and they've bought these masternode coins. The first thing they want to do is make their money back. And it makes sense because, as I said, a lot of these pre-sale masternode coins, they don't have an extensive roadmap. A lot of these coins don't even tell you what the coin is for. They just tell you that, there's profits to be made. And if you're investing in such a risky project, your number one priority is to break even. And the only way to break even, you're not thinking 2 years, you're not thinking 3 years or 1 year, you're thinking break even. So what do? Well, the only way you can break even is by selling. And this is why there's, these coins always start about 30,000, 40,000, 20,000, whatever. They all start at a certain price point and then they dump. They go all the way down. And this is because there's a lot of people selling coins because they're trying to break even and the price will keep going down. Now, that's, and that in itself is quite telling, because if anyone believed in a project, they wouldn't care about that initial investment. They'd be trying to think, I'm going to keep this in the project for years. But these guys don't. They put the money into the Masternode coins. They get their coins. They get they can break even in a few weeks by doing this. But they want to get a return on investment as soon as possible. They want to eliminate any risk and get their initial investment back. But by doing that, they effectively kill the project, because you've got so many people selling the coin, so many people dumping the coin, and the price goes down. And then there's other people in the community that perhaps were mining it, or perhaps are saving up for a Masternode, and they start panicking because they see that the price is going down, the price is going down. All of a sudden, the project isn't looking so good now because the price of the coin is so low. And what happens then? People start abandoning the project. And what happens with the team? Well, the team are now left with a project where people bought at a certain price point, and now it's priced down here. You've got a lot of pissed off people in the community, but hey, they've made their money. They pre-sold Masternodes. They've made tens of thousands of dollars. Where's the incentive for them to continue to develop the project and actually follow through with their roadmap? It's easier just to abandon the project, say, sorry guys, we tried our best, or even just exit scam, and then move on to the next coin. You're anonymous, you can do it. Now, again, I'm saying generally because this isn't always the way that it goes. There are legit projects that have been funded with ICOs and with Masternodes and all that. But I always think that when there's a lot of people investing in a project from the very start, especially when that project doesn't even look that good. If people are investing tens of thousands of dollars in a project and they don't even have a functional website, they don't have a white paper, they don't have a proper roadmap, they don't have wallets or anything else that suggests that this is a long-term investment, it's a long-term project, then those people smartly and rightly so want to get their money back as soon as possible. And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where, they buy the coins, the price is set high, then they need to dump the coins, the price goes down. I showed you this before, guys. It can take, this can take just a few weeks for this to happen. So as far as Wulu says, whatever his username is, as far as he says, as far as him getting burned on his Masternode coins, of course you can lose money on Masternodes. Of course you can. There's a huge amount of shit coins that are set up with Masternodes. But there's good projects too, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. I think Ether 1 looks good. I think Zencash is pretty solid. I'm going to invest in that. There's a few other ones that I'm looking for as well, and SafeCoin nodes coming as well. So I'm trying to look at long-term projects, and I did a little bit of research yesterday. I looked at some coins on Crypto Hashtag. I looked at a few other coins, and the annoying thing is that when you looked at a lot of these coins that are on shared Masternode services, the majority of them do fill in, they do come under this kind of pump and dump category. I checked a lot of them and the prices were all really high and then they've all went really low. And to me, with those coins, the price is only going one way. So for me, I think when I'm looking at Masternode coins, I'm trying to get in at the bottom end. I'm looking at coins that haven't started high and then go all the way down. I'm looking at coins that are perhaps only a few hundred sats. They've got room to grow. They don't have a huge number of people that are just trying to sell the coins and break even. I'm looking at coins that actually have long-term strategies, that have roadmaps, that have good white papers, that actually fulfill a purpose. But there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee in anything. Cryptocurrency is an investment. It's a risk. Of course it is. But you have to do your research. And I think just jumping in and you use a Masternode comparison website. There's lots of them out there that compare the returns. And I'm sure a lot of people just chase the ones that say ROI 1000%, over a course of a year. But for me, those are the coins I'm avoiding. I'm staying away from those coins because those ones, I want a low, steady return over time. To me, that shows a steady project with a lot of people investing in it. If there's a coin giving you 1,000, 5,000% over a few weeks, well, what does that tell you? So, yeah, I think that Masternodes are just as risky as any other cryptocurrency investment, but you do have to do your homework. You always have to do your homework. Don't think that getting some coins back automatically makes it a good investment. You have to consider the price, but just forgetting about the price, you have to look at the project first. First and foremost, before you look at the cost of a Masternode, before you look at the number of coins you need and all that, look at the project. Is this a project that's going to be there in 6 months? Is it a project that's going to be there in 2 years? Does it have a good team? Does it have a good community? If there's a lot of people trying to get their investment back and they're willing to sell and dump the price just to do that, perhaps you're looking at the wrong coin. Let me know what you think about this, guys, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.